Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. Gold's electrifying effect. Let's explore. For thousands of years, gold has both perplexed and excited mankind. It has literally shaped events in history and has motivated mankind to be its very best and also its very worst. Nonetheless, gold, even to this day, has intrigued humanity and will continue to do so well into the future. But what is it about this metal that keeps us enthralled? Why do we want it? Well, it's because of the very nature of the metal itself, and that is its physical properties. And some of that is in relation to its inability to react to its environment. In other words, it does not and cannot be destroyed. It can be disillusioned, it can be dissolved, but it can also be reconstituted. And you've heard me talk about that in a prior video about a Nobel Peace Prize that was hidden away from the Nazis by dissolving it. But nonetheless, it can be reconstituted, and though it can melt in fires and be destroyed from the forms that you see here before you, nonetheless, it can be reconstituted and never really goes away. It does not react, it does not milk spot, it does not rust, does not tarnish, and I think that's why in space they use it so much, because of those properties which are rock solid. It is durable in that arena, as well as its malleability. It can be stretched and it can be formed, and as a thing of beauty, its unique color is quite intriguing, and so that it can be formed in any shape that you so desire, in the thinnest sheets to cover and adorn all sorts of things. And many civilizations have used those properties in order to show statuses of wealth and intrigue and beauty. And we see it today with our jewelry. Most people wear some sort of gold jewelry, and that is the properties of gold. Its unique color certainly shines on, and it does excite people. To hold an ounce of gold in your hand is like nothing else. You can really feel the weight of the metal when you hold it in your hand, and that is something that I think is unlike any other metal out there, save for platinum. But along with its color and its malleability, I believe that is part of what electrifies and intrigues and excites humanity, and that's what it's about. The galvanization of the population to gold, it transcends political ideology. It transcends whatever kind of form of government that you happen to be under as a citizen or a subject in some cases. And I think that is what is so astounding about gold. And one thing we do know about gold is that it retains its value over the long course of time. And we have seen periods in history, and even recent history, where the price has gone way up and has come way down. But it never goes below a certain point. And what is that point? Well, it just depends on how fast it rises and how fast it falls. And today we are seeing the prices for this intriguing yellow metal climb up to near record highs. And it is now back from those record highs, but there is a good chance that it could reach those highs again even this year. And one thing is for sure, we don't know where the price is going to be tomorrow or the next day after that. But we take advantage of dips and buy when we can. But there's something else that's been galvanizing gold and electrifying in this modern age. And the recording of this video is in 2021, and there's a lot going on today that many people are concerned about, especially with regards to the Federal Reserve and what our politicians are doing. They're doing those things which will galvanize gold and electrify humanity even more to be drawn to it. Central banks around the world are accumulating more and more of it because they don't trust fiat currencies, even their own. And I think that says something. The United States of America holds the most gold of all nations around the world, if you believe the holdings that are documented by the New York Fed and also in Fort Knox. But one thing's for sure, when we hold gold in our hands, we are empowering ourselves. And I think that is certainly telling. And so we're going to talk a little bit about how people are accumulating gold, both by purchasing it, the final form here, but also some companies, some exploration companies are out looking for it too, and they are galvanizing and coming together to mine some very important areas of land and projects. And that's what this next portion of the video is about. You may remember not long ago, I covered in a sponsored video First Mining Gold. It is the company that is owned by the founder and chairman of First Majestic Silver, Mr. Keith Neumeyer. And you know him, and you know First Majestic Silver as the purest silver company in the world. They've got over 4,000 employees, earning Mr. Neumeyer the nickname Mr. Silver. And he is a close contact of Eric Sprott. And you know that both those gentlemen are considered to be the best in the business. Well, First Mining Gold has a joint investment with Treasury Metals, in which many may have taken advantage of the free shares they were going to be given if they got in before July 14th. You may have heard me talk about that in the previous sponsored video. First Mining Gold's most important asset is the Spring Pole project, and that happens to be one of the few gold development projects that can produce 300,000 plus ounces per year in a tier 1 jurisdiction, which makes First Mining Gold one of the most undervalued natural resource companies in the world right now. And essentially this means that if you take the numbers into account with their pre-feasibility study completed with this NPV of 5% of $995 million, and that's rated at $1,600 an ounce of gold. This appraisal concluded that if gold sells for only $1,600, Spring Pole is worth just shy of $1 billion. And that's not even taking account of where we are at today. As of the recording of this video, we're at $1,830. And likely gold's not going to go down a whole lot from here. This company's entire market cap today is $216 million in comparison. The company currently has $33 million in cash, plus the company owns shares of 3 other mining companies, which are partnering with them on projects. These shares are worth tens of millions of dollars. I'm going to talk about one of this partnership here with Treasury Metals. Compare with its peers, First Mining is valued at an 80% discount. Its price can rise by 400% just to be on par with the others. The additional properties are being developed by partners and are all world-class assets. And First Mining Gold owned a property called Goldland, and this is something that is interwoven with Treasury Metals here, developing the Goliath Gold Complex and a trio of other projects in Ontario, Canada. And we take a look at their presentation. They've got some pretty exciting stuff going on here. And we're going to take a look at this area here in this map. First Mining Gold owned a property called Goldland, which shares the same geology as a property called Goliath, which is owned by Treasury Metals. They acquired from First Mining 80% of the Goldland property, and now they can drill the whole thing instead of half of it. So in other words, you can liken it to a home split in the middle by 2 owners. Now that they can essentially drill the whole thing now, and here you can see the expanse of the project here, 65 kilometers for the property. It's pretty amazing. to think about what kind of potential there is for drilling and mining of gold. Now, in exchange, the First Mining received shares in Treasury Metals, in which First Mining distributed those shares to existing shareholders. And that's part of what we talked about in the prior video. And First Mining will still retain shares and warrants with Treasury Metals. And so it provides an opportunity with these two companies, First Mining and Treasury Metals, together in this manner of form to be able to mine and to explore. It provides an opportunity for investment. But as is always the case, I encourage you to do your own due diligence. You will see links to both companies below and their ticker symbols. So I encourage you to do your due diligence and research them and see for yourself what they offer there. Very exciting indeed. I'll post again the contact information below. So that's just another example. And you're seeing more and more companies out there mining gold, and even some of the larger, well-established gold mining companies accumulating more of it or mining more of it. And I think that's exciting to see, but it also means that it's harder and harder and will be harder and harder, I believe, to mine gold in the future. So these projects that are coming along, I think, are quite exciting. And I believe that it is incumbent upon us to research not only some of these companies, but also gold itself. You know, I mean, there's a lot of hype around gold too. Some people predicting very, very high prices for gold down the road. But you know what? In the end, the metal sells itself. And that is the true test of time, that it has survived. That is what is truly galvanizing and electrifying about this metal. It has survived the test of time, and hence why it has this historic intrinsic value that will continue to be displayed with and reflected by price down the road. So therefore, I will keep holding on to it at the very least and trying to accumulate more as I can. But you know, it's one of those things where if you have not bought gold yet and you're thinking about it, it may be a good time to consider, especially if there's a dip in price. You don't have to get a full ounce. You don't even have to get a quarter ounce, and you can find ways to save on gold. And I might cover that in a future topic, to where you can buy gold for not a whole lot over spot price, depending on the types that are out there, and be able to preserve your wealth. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.